to find a peace of mind that makes me feel just a little bit better. Ooh, I'm worn out, I'm faded, like my favorite t-shirt. I know these words so hard to see. I wanna entertain the masses, my stains on my classics, and I've worn them out. I do drugs, it's a habit. I can't stop, I can't hack it without. I've worn them out. The cookie smells again. Cookie smells again. Cookie smells again.
Sorry to stop the music there, everybody, but welcome to the Work in Progress show of the Royal College of Art Service Design course 2022. And I'm really delighted to be welcoming you here. I hope you're enjoying the track by Beats, one of the artists on In-House Records. And we'll be playing a little bit more of that later on, of course. So I want to welcome you to this second event in the Work in Progress show that we've set up to celebrate the work of the coming graduates who will be graduating in June this year, the class of 2022. And it's a special year for us because we are 10 years old this year, not actually today, more like September. And so we're, as well as celebrating the work of the students here, we're also, of course, celebrating the launch of the next 10 years, onwards and upwards to this amazing course. So you're at a historical moment here on the course. If we look back to last year and the graduation in June, we actually got to physically graduate, which was absolutely fantastic in the Albert Hall, and we will be doing so again this year. And hopefully we'll be having a physical show with these graduates. At this time, we're online. And back in the college, I'm delighted to say that after a year, these students were able to come back in October, and we've been working in a hybrid way with students, some students still distributed around the world, but most of them now back in the college, using all the best we've learned from online learning with the physical presence again, being back, working in teams and having our tutorials and seeing people, which is, of course, fantastic. Service design needs to see people. We are a team-based sport and we are human-centered. And that's not the same as user-centered. It's about all the people involved, all the people who are impacted by and who deliver services and interventions and transformations. We use design methods to visualize, to journey map, to prototype, to experiment, and many other methods from behavioral science to agile and lean, to create new ways of creating solutions. We change systems. We use system thinking to understand the complexity of culture, of procedure, of technology platform, of all the elements that come together to create services and systems. And because we're designers, we have a bias to action. We don't just measure what's happened, we turn that into future actions and impact, desirable impacts. And that's what the work of these students is all about. And this year, as we start our second decade since the start of the course, we're launching 3 challenge labs to showcase both the work that the students do, but also showcase the relevance and the purpose of service design and design techniques and the collaborations with partners that we've been proud to have over the last 10 years. So 3 challenge labs have been launched for this WIP show. Social impact we'll be looking at today. Livable planet, we had an event yesterday looking at sustainability, environmental replenishing our planet. And tomorrow we will be looking at life services, a hold all for health, for financial well-being, mental well-being. Why have we got challenge labs? Because we really believe that the principles we use in designing services, We believe in these as valuable and actionable and impactful and inclusive solutions to the global challenges we now face. And these challenge labs are about partnerships with you maybe on this event. If you want to come and work with us, if you want to take part in research, if you want to fund scholarships for students, or you just want to come and do a project with us and see what we're doing, we'd be delighted to talk to you about that. But these challenge labs you can find on our website, rcaservicedesign.com, our department website. I'll be referring to that later because you can find all the student works here, and you can contact the students indeed through this website. You'll find the challenge labs there, these platforms for collaboration and action on the issues of our time. Livable planet building and testing practical solutions. Life services providing agency to manage our economic, physical, and mental well-being. And today's highlight, understanding the role of design can play in unlocking the power of neighborhoods, communities, the unit of societal change. And I'm sure Judah will be talking about that more later on. These 3 challenge labs that we've launched now will be added to by the time we get to September 2022. This year, we will start our new course, our 1-year course, designed to be more accessible, to create more diversity in our student body, and to give you a powerful and effective training in the tools and perhaps more importantly, the attitudes of service design to once again deliver cohorts that go out into the world and transform it, which is what we've done in the last 10 years. We've been looking at projects yesterday, and you will find on our website projects with a number of partners on the livable planet. We work with Adidas, we work with energy companies, with PA Consulting and the Department of Transport. With life services, we worked with our partner EY Seren, who've provided us with tremendous support and knowledge transfer and opportunities through projects in our new partnership with them, and also nationwide, where we've looked at, well, why do we make such terrible financial decisions, and how can we humanize the digital interactions we have with management tools, financial management tools. And today we'll be looking at the outcome of the work with a collaboration with Ministry of Justice and Catch-22, but Judah will tell you all about that now. So thank you for listening to my introduction. It's great to have so many of you here. Thank you for joining us. And thank you very much to Justin, who will be talking to us later on. I'm going to hand over now to Judah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clive. Welcome everyone again. Feel super welcomed. If I was there, I'd be handing you tea and coffee and jammy Dodgers. They're biscuits, Justin. Don't get your mind out of the gutter, please. So welcome students, welcome everyone. Justin, I think it's what, 7 a.m. where you're at, is that right?
It's, I think, closer to 5 a.m., but who's counting?
Oh my God.
No, it's a reasonable hour. It's 8 a.m. We're good.
It's okay. So you've almost certainly done about 3 studios this morning and 2 lectures. So well done for that. We're going to be hearing from Justin later, just to give you an idea of what's coming up over the next 60 minutes, the amazing 60 minutes, and they are going to be amazing. And if you don't feel that they're amazing, then you can direct message me and I'll sort out some kind of compensation for you later. So you're going to hear from me about what the Social Impact Challenge Lab is and some context for the brief. You're going to hear from the students about the projects that they've been working on. You get a chance to also grill them as well. And then you're going to hear from Justin pretty much about whatever Justin wants to talk about, because he's awesome and cool and we love him. So if that's okay, if you tune in for the 5 o'clock one, you're going to get lots and lots of time with the students. But this is the best time to hear from Justin because he won't be at the 5 o'clock. So if you're tuning in for the 5 o'clock to hear from Justin, he won't be there, but the students will. Okay, so to talk about the Social Impact Challenge Lab, actually first, it's worth understanding the DNA of all the challenge labs. So to understand the DNA of the challenge labs, we look not further than the head of program, Clive. So don't be fooled by the blazer-wearing pragmatic designer that you see, okay? He presents to the cabinet, leads design for change at COP26, hangs out with the Cat Drews and the Baron Birds of this world. Clive can also take his jacket off, all right? Clive Grignier is a dangerous man. Yeah, thank you. Yes, he's a dangerous man because he lives in a pragmatic world, but he's also a rebel designer too. And these challenge labs, whether they're a livable planet, and if you haven't checked out some of the amazing work that's happened there, please do. The social impact or life services, they all have a blend of pragmatism but rebel. They're about applying real life things to the world. And because we're convinced that there's a symbiotic relationship between academia and real life practice that can present a unique voice that doesn't really exist for meaningful change. It's not just academia and it's not real life. It's both combined. So ultimately, we want to exist to find better ways of being human. And for the students, that's through applying service design skills to projects that can live outside of the portfolios. For partners, we are co-designing alternatives for how we can organize society. And for communities, it's providing the space for agency and change. And we do this through collaboration, or some might call this co-creation, across RCA, with alumni, with staff, with students, schools of communication, Innovation RCA, across other learning institutions. We're delighted that Justin can join us, but also we got so much to learn from RISD, so much to learn from the Centre of Complexity that are looking at long form projects. We collaborate across sectors, private, public, and third, but ultimately we collaborate with communities and neighborhoods. And through collaboration, we're able to discover research, making visible that which is invisible. The stories, the memories, the cultural narratives that live deep within neighborhoods and bring them to life. Make explicit what is implicit, share them back to the communities across learning institutions, contributing to our partners. And then we develop a knowledge bank. A knowledge bank because we actually believe in long-term projects, in legacy projects. So it's not just a short-term fix. We're interested in doing a one-off thing with a big issue. We're actually interested in saying, what does the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years look like in terms of homelessness? What does the next decade look like for criminal justice system? What does the next decade look like for education? What are the areas that we believe design should be involved in? And then let's be in it for the long haul. And when we collaborate with communities and partners and make visible through research, which is that which is often hidden, in order to create safe and enabling spaces, we can begin to reimagine a different way of doing something. Change. So that's a brief intro into the Social Impact Challenge Lab. And let me tell you something a little bit about the brief. In a minute, you're going to hear some 4 amazing projects. But we can give you some context. We have about 86,000 people in UK prisons right now. And we have a reoffending rate in the UK that wobbles around 60-odd%. And that costs us, the UK government, around 15 billion a year. Something needs to change. The Ministry of Justice commissioned Catch-22 to deliver a pilot project. Can we explore a better way of doing probation? Can we support probation officers, now called probation practitioners actually? Can we support them to connect more meaningfully to people, with people on probation? And can we empower those leaving prison to do so with dignity, with clarity and support? What you're going to see are 4 projects. The student working within limiting circumstances, applying service design to this pilot project. This isn't speculative. This isn't go and redesign the probation service, and actually you'll never be in danger of affecting any change. This is a pilot project that started in January. It's going to be reviewed in December of this year, and whatever works will make it into policy. The Social Impact Challenge Lab exists to find better ways of being human in some of the society's most challenging arenas. Students affecting policy by understanding neighborhoods, creating the space for change. I'm going to invite Serene to play the film. You're going to see 4 really snapshot quick films of some of these projects. And then we get the opportunities to grill the students in breakout rooms after that. Serene, are you ready to play the play?
Yep.
Awesome, thank you.
We concluded that the communication gap is the key issue between these three parties. Thus, we created 4 guidelines.
Sorry, I think
Please bear with us.
problem. Just give me a second.
So while Serene just gets that reconnected, these 4 projects, what you'll see is actually each of them focus on a different element. Some will focus more on supporting probation practitioners, some on the people on probation, some on the system in terms of systemic design, but all come from a place of understanding neighborhoods. Sorry, Serene, you're ready to roll.
Yeah, let me try again. Thanks.
We concluded that the community.
Don't panic, Serene, this happens. It's happened to me many times.
Yeah, it's funny because we had a technical trial and it worked. So I'm
Yes,
just going
it
to try it
is.
one more last time. You can hear it. It's just showing the wrong screen. So just let me. Can you guys see this moving?
Yep, that's working.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go for it again.
We concluded that the communication gap is the key issue between these three parties. Thus, we created 4 guideline packages to smoothen the entire process. Package number 1 focuses on creating a digital profile for the POP. Package 2 focuses on providing vital information to the parties. Package number 3 focuses on creating flexible communication methods. Package number 4 focuses on creating a harmonic environment.
Can we start, if you don't mind, with what is the meaning of the word probation?
It's something you have to do when you come out of prison.
Yeah, you've got no choice.
You have no choice.
My perception of probation was they're there to help you. But then as you go through the sentence, hear things, and then actually deal with them yourself, you realise they ain't doing shit.
They just want you to turn up, they can tick their
Tick the
boxes.
boxes.
He was
That's
here,
it.
he behaved, he ain't messed about with the feds,
Yeah.
send him on his way.
I travelled 40 minutes to go and sit down for 10 minutes, and then travel 40 minutes back.
Yeah.
You're not getting my character in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
It's not happening.
The problem is trying to speak to our guys in prison. The training I had in week 10, I should have had at week 1 to prepare me to actually sit with a person on probation. By the nature of their experience of life so far, people in authority or perceived authority are not to be trusted, and we kind of have to earn their trust and respect.
in a fucking detox. What's going on, mate? Okay. You're doing nothing. Where's my detox?
Our solution, I Am, aims to encourage people on probation to be aware of and express themselves through building trust with others for their stable emotion conditions and better relationships. It includes 4 parts. Self-awareness allows people on probation to reflect on themselves and emotions by using different approach rather than simple Q&A. Trust building. Hope and promise these will build trust between people on probation and the probation system. Self-expression, a chance for people on probation to talk about themselves in a creative way instead of formal appointments. And the final part, progress reflection, which could wrap up the journey in a positive way.
This project is to design an alternative to custody for those who are recalled and pose no threat to society or themselves. Based on the research data, the recall rate is mostly due to not understanding the terms of their license. They are not sure about what they could do or not during their probation journey. To solve this problem, our solution looks to deliver truthful information coming from the right source point to provide knowledge and transparency to the service user. Quick Facts is a collection of guides that compile information based on the most popular needs and inquiries of the people on probation before, during and after their journey. It aids in navigating the people on probation in order to comprehend their needs and the actions they must take. Each guide will be handed out at various points in their journey to close the information gap. For example, just before the release period, community-oriented guides will help them stay attuned to what are the most frequent queries to essentially help avoid a recall in the long run.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Serene. So now we're going to break for about, I think, around 10 minutes. Is that right? Is that right, Serene? Okay, or not Serene. But we're going to break for, I think, around 10 minutes into breakout rooms. So at the bottom of your screen, you should see those 4 squares where it says breakout rooms. And you can join any one of those groups. So 4GP, Quick Facts, I Am, and Conversation as a Practice. And as you join those rooms, you will not only hear a bit more information about the project, but you can then also ask questions to the designers of those projects. And 15 minutes we have, and then I will nudge you after, or you'll get some notifications to let you know after like 10 minutes that you've still got some time and to like be able to change and jump into other rooms. But your time is yours now. Jump in on a room, or I'll call you back after 15 minutes, and then we get to hear reflections, but also more importantly from thoughts that Justin wants to share. If anyone is still not sure about how to join a room, you can either message me or you can ask our Jedi, Mr. Makepeace, in terms of being able to support you into doing that as well. Everybody looks like they're jumping into those rooms quite carefully, so that's good.
Is anybody in the audience unsure about how to join a room? Seems good.
It's lovely to see the rooms really full. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, so for those of you still with us in this room, if you were to jump in another room now, there would be lots of other people talking, and you can just piggyback off their conversations and hear the interesting things going on. So don't be afraid to jump in them.
Let us know if you're struggling. You should see the breakout room box at the bottom right of your Zoom panel.
I'll pause recording now.
Do we need to pause YouTube as well, maybe?